Louisville Metro Police are asking for your help to find a 10-year-old girl missing in Louisville. She's now been missing for more than 24 hours. In an update tonight, police say Kayla Bailey was last seen in the Shelby Park area yesterday. This evening, WHS 1119's Bobby McSwine and photojournalist Ian Hardwitt were in Kayla's Park Hill neighborhood. Bobby, what did neighbors tell you about when she was last seen there?
Well, neighbors say Kayla is a sweet little girl who would play all around the neighborhood often with the other neighborhood kids. They hope for her safe return.
We all just got to pull together and bring this baby back home.
And that's exactly what people in Park Hill say they're doing after 10-year-old Kayla Bailey was reported missing Thursday afternoon.
It's heartbreaking for her to be only 10 years old.
LaTanya Carradine says neighbors, the neighborhood church, and LMPD all searched the area.
We looked in the alleys, the garbage cans. We didn't go in the house until after 1 o'clock this morning looking for this baby.
In a press conference, Deputy Chief Paul Humphrey emphasized the need to bring her home.
Kayla is 10 years old. Kayla is out on the street, apparently by herself. That means Kayla's in danger because we do not want a 10-year-old on the street by herself.
He says Bailey is approximately 5 feet tall and weighs about 100 pounds. She was last seen holding a teddy bear and carrying a backpack. Newly released surveillance video shows the 10-year-old wearing a black jacket, multicolored pants, and white sneakers. Police say these cameras captured her in the alley behind White Owl Liquors on Dixie Highway.
That was my little granddaughter's friend. She asks about her all the time. Have they found my friend yet? No. Nope, not yet, baby. They will, though.
Levi says she always keeps a close eye on her grandchildren, but now it's more pressing.
It's kind of traumatizing a little bit to other kids, you know, because you see how it's clear out here now. A nice day like this, kids will be out.
Humphrey says Bailey wasn't abducted and acknowledges she has gone missing other times before. However, he didn't go into details.
And LMPD asked anyone with information to call 574-LMPD immediately. In studio, Bobby McSwine, the WHAS 1119 on your side.
Bobby, thank you. This just in, we're following breaking news right now out of Norman, Oklahoma, where there are reports of shots fired on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is a live look at the Norman campus from a university camera. Again, coming live there, you can see the large police presence off in the very distance here. Now, the university tweeted at 10:24 our time saying there was an active shooter, and they were telling people to take immediate action there on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. But then less than 15 minutes ago, the university sent out a new tweet. Oklahoma University police were reporting possible shots fired on campus. This is still a developing situation, and there is no update here within just the last few minutes. And we're bringing you live pictures now again from the area of on the Norman campus there of police there investigating either an active shooter or possible shots fired on the campus. We'll keep an eye on this for you on the night team. We'll bring you an update here before we go off the air. The woman accused of killing her 4-year-old daughter is expected to change her not guilty plea. Court documents show Catherine McKinney is expected to plead guilty in a Bullitt County courtroom on Monday. On February 18th of last year, Kentucky State Police found the body of Serenity McKinney in West Point, Kentucky. The autopsy showed she was found in a suitcase filled with a sand-like substance and she had fractured bones. Catherine McKinney and her boyfriend Dakota Hill have both been charged with her murder. And we got a new update tonight during the 6 o'clock hour from emergency management on those barges that were resting on the McAlpin Dam. Crews have now safely removed that tank containing methanol from the dam, and the barge is being removed. The other barge containing corn is still there. Emergency management officials continue to say there's still no signs of any leaks from either of the barges, not into the air nor the river. 2 barges have been sitting against the dam for more than a week now after they came loose last Tuesday morning. New today, the National Weather Service finished its surveys of storm damage in southern Indiana. The crew heading up to hard-hit Corydon, Indiana, where roofing and siding were ripped off a building. Here's what they discovered. The National Weather Service did not see signs that a tornado actually touched down there, but they did find straight-line wind damage in Corydon, with winds peaking at 80 to 85 miles per hour. This happened on Wednesday. WHS 11's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie went back to Corydon to show us how the community is cleaning up.
By taking a look at this southern Indiana small business's roof, or lack thereof.
Thinking it's all gone and I got a damage to think about.
Alex Klein works for Southern Indiana Electrical and HVAC. Not that you could tell by the shop sign.
I'm thankful that we have a better weather forecast right now and not more rain coming, because otherwise I would have a lot more damage on the inside.
The HVAC company joins neighboring t-shirt shop 4 Inc. in a race against the clock. With a roof completely exposed, former fragments of it piled high in the back. The businesses are hoping to fix it before the next rainfall. Let me tell you why. I'm actually going to show you why. So we're inside 4 Inc. right now. We're going to go ahead, head into their back room. Once we get into their back room, we're going to show you what it looks like in here with the lights off. All right, so then you're going to take a look at the beams of light coming down. That's actually exposed parts of their roof. Is that a piece of
Yes, I did not sleep very well after I found out. I was up most of the night thinking what I was going to come into.
Connor Steffen, the WHAS 11 night team, on your side.
And happening today just before 5 o'clock, a scary scene at the Masters in Augusta, Georgia. Storms in Georgia led to 3 pine trees toppling on the golf course today. You see it happening there at the Masters. Officials say nobody was hurt, thankfully, when those trees fell right near spectators left of the 17th tee. Look at how big those trees are as they came down. The grounds of Augusta National, though, were evacuated for the storms in the area, and play was suspended for the entire day. The round is scheduled to resume at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning with more wind and rain in the Augusta forecast for the Masters. A man has died after a crash on Dixie Highway overnight. LMPD says around midnight, a man was traveling towards Pages Lane on Dixie Highway when he lost control and hit a fire hydrant, causing him to crash into a utility pole. The man was taken to the hospital where he later died of his injuries. LMPD is still working to determine what caused the man to lose control. We're also getting a better timeline today into the negotiations that'll soon be coming that could change the direction of Louisville for years to come. A month ago, the U.S. Department of Justice and Metro government agreed in principle to enter into a consent decree. Today at the roundtable hosted by Bishop Dennis Lyons on his Friday morning Bishop's Table, County Attorney Mike O'Connell said it could take more than a year for the mayor and the feds to come to an agreement. The Civil Rights Division is hosting several public community meetings all next week, detailing their next steps. O'Connell told us the feds won't start negotiations with the city until after these meetings are finished.
Right now, it's both sides kind of getting their teams together and people who are going to be the ones in the room with the door closed and things like that, getting ready to start that process.
Community leaders speaking to WHAS 11 say they want an opportunity to be involved in the negotiations between the city and the DOJ. However, in a statement, the mayor's office says the DOJ does not allow third parties into the negotiations. Therefore, the best time for the public to get their input is to go to one of the public forums being hosted by the DOJ next week. Lawyers for the man accused of killing 2 teens in Delphi, Indiana, have filed an emergency motion to have him moved to a different prison. Richard Allen is accused of killing Liberty German and Abigail Williams in 2017 and has been held in prison since his arrest in October. In court documents, his defense team said Allen's treatment in prison is similar to that of a prisoner of war. They say Allen hasn't received visits from his wife or family for the past 5 months, is allowed to shower only once or twice per week, and is forced to wear the same clothing several days in a row. Indiana Department of Corrections spokesperson Annie Galler said the agency cannot comment on the claims by Allen's attorneys because of a gag order in the case. A week after signing Kentucky's sports betting wagering legislation into law, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said he'd like it to begin sooner rather than later. Right now, the law goes into effect sometime in late June, and then officials will have 6 months to come up with a system to regulate sports betting. However, today the governor pushed to move up that timeline. He didn't give a specific date, but pointed to the start of the NFL season as a potential starting point.
The people are really excited about this, so we want to get it up and going as quickly as we can, but also to do it right. I can't tell you I have a date. I would really like to have it ahead of that first NFL game, knowing that that is a big starting date for people.
Meantime, Republican candidate for governor Alan Keck, who is the mayor of Danville, has offered up how he wants to use revenues from sports betting. Keck proposed redirecting most of it to bolster school safety.
There is simply nothing more important than ensuring that our kids, our teachers, and our administrators get home safe every day, and Kentucky can and should take a lead on this.
Keck, is the mayor of Somerset, Kentucky, not Danville. He also proposed policies to encourage military veterans to serve as school resource officers to help bolster security in Kentucky schools. He is part of a packed GOP field vying for Kentucky governor, which includes the former U.S. Ambassador Kelly Craft and current Attorney General Daniel Cameron, plus current AG Commissioner Ryan Quarles, State Auditor Mike Harmon, and the former attorney Eric Dieters. The rare political showdown at the Tennessee State Capitol, where the first partisan expulsion occurred in state history. The Republican majority voting out 2 Democratic lawmakers for allegedly violating House rules when they joined protests calling for stricter gun laws. It comes after the Republican leadership blocked them from addressing the protest. But the group took a bullhorn to the House floor, sparking a security scare. ABC's Melissa Adan has the latest.
Vice President Kamala Harris traveling to Tennessee to meet with the 2 Democratic representatives ousted by the state's Republican-led House, and a third that narrowly avoided expulsion. The 3 lawmakers walking out of the meeting with locked arms to a round of applause by Tennessee Black Caucus members of the Tennessee House and Senate. Vice President Harris addressing a crowd at Fisk University in Nashville moments after.
A democracy says you don't silence the people. You do not stifle the people.
Tennessee Representatives Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, and Gloria Johnson all faced expulsion after Republicans said they violated decorum last week. Interrupting proceedings, demanding gun reform, leading a crowd of demonstrators through the House floor. Jones and Pearson using a bullhorn. Vice President Harris defending the former representatives.
They had to get a bullhorn to be heard. Well, you know what? That happens in a democracy, too.
The black lawmakers expelled, but Gloria Johnson, who was white, surviving removal by a single vote.
Why do you feel like there was a difference in the outcome between you and your colleague?
I will answer your question. It might have to do with the color of our skin.
It's a false narrative on her part. She had 2 attorneys in the well, and if you go back and look at the opening, her attorney, John Mark Wendell, came out strong, made a lot of points that she was not as active a participant as the other 2. She didn't grab the bullhorn.
The protests following the deadly Nashville elementary school shooting that killed 3 staffers and 3 9-year-old students.
Melissa Dawn, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The 2 Democrats will be able to run again for their seats once a special election is announced.